What's up, WWE Champions Universe? This is Lee from Champions Chat, and this is a new series. We had a few people asking, like, okay, you guys power rate, you review, you debut, all these new characters, but as you can see, like, this is my screen, my roster right here. You have 627 characters. How many of them do you actually use? And so I thought I'd break this down. It's a little bit of a different thing. This isn't a talent up video. This isn't power ratings, like how good are they. These are like the actual in the streets, who do I actually use of these characters. So I'm going to go pretty much men and then women by class and kind of talk about who am I actually really truly using. Now, this is my roster. I have invested heavily in it, which is to say I spent a little bit to get some of these characters, but even that doesn't guarantee that I'm going to be using them. So without further ado, Merrill Strikers, who do I use? First up, Azie. I love this Azie. He's very powerful, super rare. He was only available for one day, basically one event, and then he's been gone forever. I don't use him that much, you know, just being honest. I love him. He hits for 125 million very easily if you've got the plate that has that focus right there, the nearing end, which I do. And Sheriff's Badge. Yeah, I'm not running him with tier 6s. I don't have enough of those just yet. And he doesn't have any gear moments, anything like that. But he's very good. The struggle with him is he's multi-gem based. And so, just as I've said on multiple videos lately, the number of characters that are multi-gem based means that it's very hard to actually be able to play with very many of them in any given feud or setup. So while I love this character, I don't actually use him that much. OTC Roman, probably the most powerful striker in the game, and I use him a lot. Definitely a rare character. One of the things, like, out of all the reasons that I use this guy, if you look, the links, he has both SmackDown and Raw. So when it's like any Raw, any SmackDown, he fits for both of those requirements. So very simply, for that one reason, I end up using him an awful lot. Now, with this moveset right here, you don't need much in the way of trainers. You only have a 4 MP move and a 5 MP move here, and that loads this move, so you don't really need much. You just need one trainer, 1 MP trainer, Woods, and then you can load out. As you can see, I've even been nerfing him with Matt Hardy as opposed to Sherry, again, because there's so many multi-gem users, but he easily hits the hundreds of millions. Excuse me. Whew. Pardon, had to sneeze there for a second. So he's easily hitting for hundreds of millions, and yeah, it's like he is a great character all the way around. He's quick. He's going to be good in feud, boss battle, and showdown. I mean, there's not really, aside from his trainer ability, there's not really a flaw in this character. So yes, I use him a lot. This is my setup. No plates whatsoever. Still just running the Fury 2s, but I do have 150% strap on him. So I would say out of all my strikers, he's probably the one I use the absolute most. This guy, used him a ton for quite a while. As you can see, I've got his gear, which was Spring Breakout, so around then I was using him a boatload. If I were to get the new green Piper, I would probably be running him even more, but let's be honest, he doesn't need anything to hit an insane amount of damage. This is your move set right here, and yes, you just take a swipe. You don't actually have to connect anything. As long as you can swipe a set of gems, even 2 pyro gems, he'll hit for way more than anything you need. So yeah, he's very good, but I probably haven't used him in 3 months, I would say. So no, I love him. I would put him in my top 3 favorite strikers. but I still don't use him that often. Hall of Fame Ron, I do use a bit. My biggest setback for my account is I don't have the first gear, which would give you all colors do 4 more MP. 1 gear on Ron, and he does a world better. And then you can see if you get a second gear, it's the power gems doing even more. This is the moveset I run. You could run this one if you were to get... wait, no, which one? This one right here, if you were to get the MP gear, but since I don't have that, it's just too much to run, so I've got this move in there instead, and, you know, we're good to go. We're good to go. So, yeah, he's very good. I do have the moment for him, which makes him even spicier. And then this is the setup I've got for the plate. This is a good place for one of these because it's triple black, so you're going to buff your black gems by 150%. But I would say I use him a medium amount for sure. DDP. I love this DDP, especially with that same moment that Ron just got. It's giving you power gems right there, 100% more on each attack. DDP was already pretty easily doing 60 million per first turn, and you know, wasn't even difficult to do. A little bit of cascade risk. I did recently. Oh no, I didn't get his gear. I can unlock 1 gear, but this first gear actually is useless to me. Red gems do 50% more damage. I'm running triple yellow, so what I'm going for is that second gear. If I were to get that second gear, then this moveset is even better because you can use double the trainers for your power gems. So I do use him, but pretty infrequently. This one, so this is Embrace the Seth, Embrace the Suck. He has all of the gears, and I do have all of the gears. All color moves start with 3 more MP. All color moves deal 150% more damage. Black gems do 50% more damage. If you run triple red on him in feud, because there are multiple feud moments, right? There's 1 that's faction feud. There's 2 that's faction feud. There's 3 that's faction feud, and I am missing at least 1 moment, I believe, that works on him. This setup for the strap, only a 40%. He hits pretty hard. Very good for free-to-plays nowadays because he's been in a lot of loot for free, or sorry, a lot of giveaways for free. The trick is getting all the pieces to him. That being said, I love this gear. This gear's my favorite. It looks super cool. I like X-Men kind of a little bit. That being said, as good as he is, I don't use him. I don't use him at all. If we're talking feuds, again, it's multi-gems, and, you know, so there you go. They start out strength 4. They do get buffed up quite a lot when you throw in your Sherry and your Memrock or Seth Leonardo or whoever. But the reality is I just have so many better characters that do the same thing quicker, so I don't use him. I would say, though, on a lot of rosters, if this is your best striker and you've got all the tricks for him, he is absolutely a great feud choice, just not one that... you know, again, that's the point of this video. Honestly, I talk them up, but do I actually use them? I don't use him on my roster. Uso, Jay, I did finally get his gear in one of the events. I do use him a lot. The biggest thing for me is that it's this nice, wonderful column break setup as opposed to multis. So anything where I can get somebody who hits super hard and doesn't use multi-gems, that's an immediate get for me. And it's a 6 MP charge on green, loads the 10 MP finisher, and you're good to go. I do have a yeet on him, the Devil's Yeet, in fact, which this combination of plates right here makes so many characters top tier. And that is absolutely true for him. He is top tier. So, yes, I use him very often. I would say, striker-wise, Roman and Jay are the 2 that I use the most consistently all the time. All right, bam. I've said in multiple videos, I love this Bam Bam. I love Bam Bam the wrestler. He was always one of my, like, sneaky, not like favorites, but one of those guys I just really liked. I just really liked him. He was cool. He looks super cool in his gear. He's got a moment, but it's Showdown, which doesn't do much for me there. He can hit super hard, but for me, the trick on him is that he's got the dual katanas. Whenever you make 9 power gems, decrease all of your opponent's gems by 80% for 3 turns. He is very easy with this plate and this moveset to make it to where the opponent, no opponent can kick out, period. That being said, it's a lot of clicking to get it done. You throw down this one, you buff them, you make a 3x1, which hits, which reloads this, which is going to reload that, which is going to make you go, right? He can beat anyone. Literally can beat anyone in the game. I honestly, as much as I love him, I don't use him that much. I really want to, that 60% is doing nothing for me because he's all based off power gems. I'd really like to, let's see, do I have a defensive plate? Actually even that 100% right there would be great. Yeah, I've got weird straps. So yeah, maybe switch him over at some point to 100% health strap just to make him a monster defensive character when it comes to going up against, like, in a showdown or in a line. But as much as I love this character, the theme of this video is, do I actually use them? The answer is no. I really don't use him that much as I love him. Muhammad Ali, if I had the gear, which I don't, but looks like I could get it. It's actually tempting right now. His gear is all color moves start with 5 more MP. His move set is this one right here. You throw on your entourage, including solo, where you create more random countdown gems, and you put something like this on him. You could put a red plate, especially a red rumble plate, and etc. You could see I've been saving up to get. I'm really freaking tempted to get the gear right this second. Like right now. I'm very tempted to click that button right there and get his gear. Oh my gosh, I got it. Okay. I didn't know I was going to do that. That surprised me. So now I've got his gear. All color moves start with 5 more MP. And his moves right here are 6, 6, and 7, which means you need 2 red MP. You're going to get 1 from the turn. So technically, Santa Hogan to fill this move, or you could do something like else, with it, like Bulldog would be actually probably the way I'm going to go with it, and then make as many countdown gems as you possibly can. He hits like a Mack truck. So this is a let me get back to you, because I've never had his gear until now. Doesn't change his look. It's just in the ring he has red gloves is all it is. So I just got his gear. That was crazy. So I might use him now a lot more, but up until this point I have not been using him. The big differentiator, if you've got him, is this moment. Now, they sold this moment for $100, which is a lot of money. I got it before that. I don't remember how much I paid for it. But either way, they sold it for $100 at one point. So if you got it during that, it makes Hulk Hogan absolutely the top character in the game. It makes this Ali phenomenal. Great on him, good on him, but basically your gems do 100% more damage, and your moves that generate all color gems will create 5 more all color gems. So you go down here to his moveset. Basically, it's not doing anything for this other than the 100% buff, and then 7 into black, which is going to turn these on, so then all of your red gem damage is buffed by a lot. Right now it's 200%. You get solo and some others on there. You can get it to 250 or higher, and then you do a 5x5 area into red. And what if that goes up to 6x? It does not. Okay, never mind. So right now I'm going to say I might be using him again soon because I just made the fool click. But otherwise, no. Bray Wyatt. Man, it took me forever to get this guy. If you were watching our streams a while ago, long time ago, a year ago, whenever this guy came out, there was a weekend where they did like a step up offer. Like your first 100 guaranteed you so much, your second 100 guaranteed you even better, and then your third 100 guaranteed you like you should have gotten Bray. Both Rusty and I bit on that in one stream. Neither of us got this guy. And I think I still hold a grudge. Not against Bray Wyatt, because Bray Wyatt's one of my favorite wrestlers overall. But I just don't use him that much. You know, here's the kind of moveset that you would usually use. But yeah, to be honest, I don't think I've used him in a single feud. I don't think I've used him on tour because they haven't required him much lately. Yeah, I do have 100% strap, and I think I've got 130 based on what I saw with Ali. Yep, I've got 130 that I could put on him and may in the future, but again, topic of the video, doesn't matter how good they are, am I actually using them? The answer is no, I don't. So let me know in the comment section, is that a mistake? Do you use Bray as your go-to guy, and is he a quick, fast win? Yeah, just let me know. All right. Hogan, they did buff Hogan, ironically, right after I made a video of how crappy this Hogan was. Not saying I caused it at all, but, you know, I know as an official CC they are watching some of my content, and just really weirdly, right after I made a video of how terrible this Hogan was, they buffed him and then buffed his gears to where now his power gems do 125% more damage if you have both gears. This gear and this gear are available in the power loot that's each month. I've so far been able to get the silver, haven't been able to get the gold. But again, topic of the video, do I use him? Not ever, ever, ever. No. I've got an affiliation strap on him. If I wanted to, I could put, well, I'd have to steal one of these guys' straps, and I like those straps. Those guys better. So, yeah, I don't use this Hogan at all, ever. But he can hit 50 million turn one again. Macho, you saw me take up because of the fact that I love him. This was my favorite version of the Macho Man from my childhood when he was fighting Hacksaw Jim Duggan and the Ultimate Warrior. And I just love this version, but he does not hold up any longer. This is kind of what I see most people running. I took him 6 gold for the nostalgia, but no, I don't. I literally have not ever used him since I got him on my roster. Terry Funk, possibly the best free-to-play character in the game. I said it, right? Among them, at least. He is very good. His moment does a lot of good things for him, and it's a very available moment across the board. This moveset right here hits for 140 million, I think it was, 120, 130, very easily. You just do the Merrick special, and you lay down 4, skip a gem, lay down 2 more, and he'll reload flawlessly, hits insanely. But for same reasons I've mentioned on others, right? The multi-gems. Multi-gems of strength 5. Not that that's bad. It's not at all, but I just don't use him. I honestly don't. Like, he is one of the best free-to-play characters in the game, though. So don't discount that. But for me, there's just so many faster options on my roster. Now, what I would like to see, and expect maybe now we will see, is that they do some buffs to the Pyro plates, which he has the Let Me Talk to You plate right here, the LA Knight. Whenever you make 4 or more, increase your blue gems by 300. Now that they've started doing a cycle of Piper plates, I would imagine that either they'll release a blue Piper plate or they'll just co-opt this one in and make it to where it's the 100% to all color and 500% to blue, which would mean that he does double the damage that this plate is currently doing. So again, I mean, he hits an insane amount. Attitude Era is a great era to have somebody like this in. But no, I honestly, I haven't used him months and months and months and months. Hall of Fame Kurt, this same moment that buffs DDP, that buffs Ron Simmons, and his gears, he can easily hit 130 million all day with this move set right here. And it's super easy because you lay down the moonsault and then do the chicken face, cross face, chicken wing. Sorry, the chicken face, and then they're just ready to go, right? So as long as you use this move to load enough of this move, you are ready to go. But multi-gems, just multi-gems, right? Everywhere it is multi-gems. And you can't buff the 1x4 area. He hits an insane amount of damage. He's very easy to use. I will definitely use him for every Kurt Angle requirement in the game whenever those come up. But honestly, as much as I thought I would use him, I just don't. Same for Vader here. I did get his gears off of the prize walls that are going on right now. Power gems do 50. All color moves start with 4. I've heard people say he hits like a truck using this moveset right here. I have not been able to replicate that. Maybe it's just, I don't have another nearing end, or I didn't. Maybe I do now. I didn't have a nearing end that I was willing to share over here, so that's probably a lot of it. If you have the extra nearing end, then I would say he's probably worth investing in on your roster. I like Vader. I want him to be super good, and I hear he is. Now I don't have a nearing end for him, but without that, it just seems like he's not. And yes, I know I stole a medal from him. I promise I had it on there before, and was still running him, but. Again, I was super excited to get him. He feels like a Whaley character to me, but I don't use him. Let's just kind of skip through because it's going to take a while to go through all of these now. So, Rocker Sean, super glad to have him. Took him up for nostalgia. I don't think he's super relevant in today's meta. Andre, again, he's more there for his trainer ability. If you have him, you 100% need to take him to 35k for this right here alone. Multiply gems go up by 2. Red moves start with 2. That's a vital training ability. I don't use him as a fighter. I don't like this Brett hardly at all, but I also don't like Brett. I did buy the $20 version of the moment, but I was buying it more so for that Austin than for this Brett. But it is, helping him out as well. There was a Whaley one for $100 you could buy, and that really targets this Brett, and then he becomes pretty good. The one advantage with the gear that he has is that the gear is buff all moves start with 4 more MP, but even with that, I don't use him as a fighter. Absolutely vital coach, probably the most important coach in the game in some respects right now. So yes, Stunning Steve as a coach, no as a fighter. Now, here's a surprise for you. This is probably the striker that I would use. Like, if I didn't have Roman and Yeet, this is the best striker in the game for my money. Now, you do need to have a couple things. You don't need these, but man, do they add some spice to it. But you run with, let's see, do I have it saved? I don't. You run with this guy. So you do need him, then that, then Goldberg, then that. Boom, this setup is awesome. Now he starts where you just literally click this move, and the board blows up. Hits for about 95 million with this moment. And I would say probably my favorite A-tier character of the last 2 years. Easily probably the last 2 years. And tread, because Zombie Dom was the best free character forever in the game. Now I would say he's in the running for it. Another shout out, absolutely, with the Vinnie Vegas gear that they just released. Now you got to have all of his gears. Ooh, that spins him. But what it does is moves that generate column break do more, 150% damage. All color moves start with 5. If you've got this moment, which it's one of the most basic free moments, they buffed it up where the gems do 1500% more damage, and then you add on the Devil's Yeet, and this guy is turn 1, 120 million, give or take, easy no question asked. Will I use him long term? Maybe. He is, a little bit like you gotta click out a bunch of different row break gems you want to lay down. Then it does random. Then you can blow up an area. So it's not too involved to get things done. But, I would say with those things, phenomenal. All right, now let's go into the speed round as we get to some of these guys here. Bischoff, the Master Gym build, is still good. I don't use him. This is one of the guys I loved when he first came out. He fell off a cliff, and now they've taunted us with him as that 6-star gold fuse up in all the coin, different, 6-star gold loots every month, and now I hate him. Bradshaw, we've talked about him. He's one of the best free-to-play characters in the game again, but he's super... I mean, the Sir Zorro videos that we've created on that, and I literally mean like in partnership with Sir Zorro, it just takes such a brain to run, and so I just don't use him. Hall of Fame Perfect is okay, but no, I don't use him. This, again, is one of your best free-to-play characters in the game. Move damage build, and I do use him occasionally, but he's not a go-to. Rock, if you've got him, you've got multiple different ways you can run him. He is required a lot, so I don't run him as in like a feud guy or a go-to, but he does show up in a lot of CSS. Regular Bobby, probably the same story as Striker Seth. Triple red works really well on him. He's very powerful, but I don't use him. This is one of the worst characters. Scopely, if you're watching this video, remember how you buffed Hogan after I made a video that said how Hall of Fame Hogan was terrible? This is one of the worst and most useless characters in the game. Like, it is so difficult to get anything that works on him, and this is the closest you've got. Like, I've got all his gear, I think. No, I don't have all his gear. I could. I'm not clicking that button. No. No. But, like, Crossbreak Gems 50, all color moves start with 2. It's not good enough. This is a terrible character. Braun, again, among the most important trainers in the game, so absolutely get him to his max trainer ability. He does hit for a good amount. I don't use him. I've never used him. I don't like that one. Batista is the free tier Batista from a few months ago. Does some amazing things, and with the green Piper plate, very stinking good. I just don't use him that much. Ghostbuster Roman is very outdated at this point. I used him a lot when he came out. I was excited to have him. I don't use him. Omos is terrible. The meta has not been kind to him. He was amazing when he came out. He's absolutely almost unusable now. Same with Dusty. Hall of Fame Dusty is really rough waters. Last Outlaw is a great trainer. I don't use him as a fighter. Brutus, again, this would be, I would say, the best B tier. I'm talking about A tier. This is probably the best B tier that they've released in the last several months, if not year or two. I have not used him since his month, so I'm being honest there, but I think he is very good, and I will use him whenever I can. Rocky 76, still very valid, still very good. I think that there's going to be a resurgence of him once they do some sort of a black Piper plate. But until then, I just don't use him that much, if at all. Mr. T's unusable. Goldberg is great as a trainer. He's mildly okay as a fighter. Brawny Stroface, no. Dang, no. No. We'll do a video on him soon. No. This one is probably your biggest surprise. The more things you get for him, the better and better he gets, to where he's actually maybe one of the top Austins in the game if you get everything. It's kind of weird. No, unusable. Nah. I'll be honest right here. I don't think I'll use Bundy ever. He's not great for what I need in the game. I'm glad he's in the game. I love that they have King Kong Bundy. I don't think he's that good. You're not going to get anything out of these guys right here. This is, you know why he's here. He's an IOW. That's what his purpose is. But as a fighter, no. Cody, I would say probably not great anymore. This Drew, If you get the new moment, he's almost usable. That's the best I can say for him. The rest of these guys, no. Merrick's has a video, which we actually did a BDC builds video on that Foley as well. He can be usable, but otherwise, no. No hidden gems here. They're all outdated. Trainer coach right there. Coaching ability right there. No. So, that is a look at my strikers, which is a good portion, if not all of the strikers that are in the game, I think. I mean, there's a few I'm missing, like the Dean Ambrose from way back that you can't even get anymore and stuff like that. But overall, that's an honest look at who I actually use in my strikers and who I don't. What do you think of this series? Is this something that's helpful? Because this isn't something I'm doing for vanity. This is something that really I want to be helpful to the community. And if it is, we'll keep these going. But that's it for this one. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Like the video, subscribe to Champions Chat, and then send this to your friend or faction mate who's going like, yeah, but which of these 1,000 strikers are actually good? Here's some of them. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.